welcome to my kitchen. You may have seen Rick and I planting the garlic. Well, when we were out in the pathetic, scary, weedy, overrun, almost jungle looking really nasty garden, I did notice there are several treasures that are still out there. You know, my friend Cat's Cradle did a video not too long ago where she talked about this year she wanted to garden as if though her life depended on it. And she wasn't going to give up, that she was going to take what the garden gave her and she was going to do something with it. Well, this year we got an abundance from our garden, but halfway through the summer, and maybe 3/4 of the way, with the intense heat, and then we got driving rains for almost all of August. While the Midwest was thirsting for rain, my area was getting flooded because there was so much rain. Every single day the rain would come. And it wasn't just a nice, pleasant little shower. It was driving, hard, giant drops of rain, and it collected very quickly, and it moved out. But still, the next day it would come, and it would come, and it would come. But out there in my garden this morning, there's a ton of fresh basil. There's still lots of peppers coming on, and we actually had a few raspberries that we ate very selfishly. But the basil, I did grab some basil, and we're going to make some pesto. Now, I can't remember if I did a pesto. I did a spinach pesto, but I don't ever remember doing a fresh basil pesto. So that's what I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it today, because I'm going to make it when I have time. I'm going to put it in a mason jar in the fridge, and then later in the week we're going to have pesto pasta for dinner, maybe with some grilled chicken or something like that. So this is how I'm going to make pesto. I have my food processor. And just so you know, every time I get this out, I have several people ask me, what kind of food processor is that? This is a KitchenAid, okay? This is a KitchenAid 9-cup professional series food processor. And I got mine off of eBay, and it was $59. Now, that being said, I wanted a yellow one. I did not want to pay the $200 price tag that is new. All right, KitchenAid has since come out with a newer version of this that has a bigger bowl. I think they have one with an 11 or 12 cup bowl. I would love to have that. This one suits my needs just fine for now. But it's a 9-cup bowl, and that was important to me, that I have the 9-cup bowl. Pardon me, I need to wipe this off just a little more. It sits on my windowsill, and you know it collects all that whatever that's around. I should probably put it in a drawer, but I don't, because when I do, I forget where it is and whatever. Okay, so the first thing we're going to start with is we're going to take all this basil, and if you want me to measure it, I will. When you measure basil, you pack it, okay? So, and for me, this is kind of like, I don't measure this, I just make it. So there's a cup of packed basil there. I'm going to use all of it, okay? And you can, I have a video where I made spinach pesto, and you can use a little bit of basil and a lot of spinach if you don't like all this basil. Oops, I'm making a mess. So here's another cup of packed basil. I mean, really pack it in there. It's really not, you know. I think we're going to get about 3 cups of packed basil here, okay? Yeah, exactly. And I have way more. Now, this is homegrown basil, and some of it is a little sunburnt, but that's okay. You're going to grind this all up. You're not even going to know, okay?
And the smell is incredible.
It really is. Okay, now, what we're going to do next is I have my garlic chives out in the garden. They're starting to go to seed, flower, okay? These taste amazing. They taste just like garlic. So I pulled a few heads off of there. I'm going to toss them right in. And 7 ginormous cloves of garlic. I mean, good Lord, those things are huge. All right, let's grind these up. And it's going to go down to nothing because that basil's going to grind up. See, the basil takes up a lot of space. All right, that's a good start. Now, we're going to put a cup, maybe I'll put a cup and a half, let's see, of walnuts. I have another bag over here. Let me grab this scissors, sweetheart. All right. Yeah, there we go. So I'd say for 2 cups of basil, I would use a cup of walnuts, but since we have 3 cups, I'm going to use a cup and a half. Okay, let's pulse those for a minute, and we'll let it go. I'm going to grab my spat over here. Just give it a good stir down so everything gets mixed in there really well. Starting to look like pesto. All right. Now, oh, did I put it away? I must have. Oh no, it's right here. Parmesan cheese. We're going to start with about a half a cup. I ground this Parmesan cheese from a whole piece of Parmesan that I cut up into smaller pieces, and I put it in, whoopsie, my rocket blender, okay? And those of you who've gone out and bought that rocket blender that I use for my drinks, it comes with this small cup. It also comes with a shaker top, and maybe I'll do a video and show you how I did it, but I cut up the cheese. You cannot put the cheese whole in this container. It will break your blade. But if you put it in smaller pieces in here and then put it on with the blade, I also put a tablespoon or so of cornstarch in there so it'll absorb, so it won't clump up. Let me show you, because I did a whole bunch of it all at one time. And it's really awesome because now instead of reaching for something else, I can reach for this. Look, this is just one of those containers that we make the smoothies in. And now I have some really nice Parmesan cheese. I'll probably marry these two and put them together. But let's see if I can find it. Yes. I don't know if that will work. Yeah, here. Your rocket blender also comes with this shaker top so that you can sprinkle your cheese. I mean, look at, just like the stuff in the green box, only you did it yourself. Isn't that awesome? I think that's awesome. So maybe sometime I'll show you, the next time I do this, I'll show you how I did it. But literally, I just put some little chunks of the cheese in the cup, and I put about halfway full. I mean, this one I filled to about here, and then I put about a tablespoon of cornstarch in there, and I mixed it all up together. Let me put the lid on this one. All right. I dirtied up a good bunch of dishes for myself. That's all right. All right, so we've got 3 cups of basil, a cup and a half of walnuts, and we just put in about a half a cup of parm. Oh, and 7 cloves of garlic, or 8 if you don't use the garlic chive blossoms. I'm going to turn it on, okay? And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stream in about a half a cup of olive oil. I'm using the Alex Element olive oil, and the only way to know this is done is just by the way it looks. When it starts to look like a sauce, you know you're finished. Okay, I'm going to stir it down a bit. I'm going to put a little more olive oil in there. Can you hear how different it sounds? It's almost flubbing. You see how it looks? Just like that. Okay. I'll show you how it will. That's just about the consistency that you want. It's not as thick as peanut butter, but it's not as thin as cake batter either. Okay, I'm gonna put some pepper. This is some fresh ground pepper. This is to your taste, so put in about a teaspoon, tablespoon, whatever you prefer. Okay, I'm also gonna put in some pink salt. Ooh. And now we're done with our pesto. I'm going to go ahead and taste this for seasoning. I think it could use a little more salt. It's very, very powerful. You only need a little bit of pesto. And I also think I'm going to add a little bit more cheese to that, because I'm not really getting the cheese as much as I'd like to. I can totally get the walnuts. Now, traditionally, pesto is made with pine nuts. I'm going to put about 2 tablespoons more of this Parmesan in here. You can use whatever you want. Parmesan, Asiago, Romano, a blend, Italian blend. It'll all be fine. Now I think I'm also going to add just a touch more olive oil. Okay. Now you can definitely hear when it's a sauce, because you can hear it almost glugging. That's better. That's much better. This is really to your personal taste, okay? If you don't like it as salty as I do, or as cheesy, then by all means, don't put that much in there. But this is a raw sauce, so the garlic is really going to be powerful. Oh, but it's so good. You have to taste it. You can taste everything.
Mm-hmm. You can. You can have it though.
You like pesto. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this in a mason jar, and I'm just gonna put it in my fridge. So let's start that here. I have a pint jar here. So there we go. Now, probably could have gotten not quite, this little bit more than a pint. So what I'm gonna do, you wanna make sure when you get this in the jar, you wanna put some olive oil on the top, so that your pesto does not turn ugly. I had a lid out here somewhere. Then we're just gonna put a lid on it. Oh, here it is. And we're gonna put it in the fridge. And there you have it. Fresh basil pesto from your food storage in your garden. And it's all ready to go for later in the week. This is more than one time. I would use half of this for a big pot of pasta to dress it. Or you can use this on top of fish. You can use this on top of grilled chicken. It'd be absolutely fantastic. We're going to do some videos using this, and I'll share with you what I do. But I'm just going to stick this in the fridge, and it's all done. So when I want to use it later in the week, when the week gets busy, then I don't have to worry about making pesto. So there you have it. Fresh basil pesto. I hope you try it. I hope you love it. And until next time, I'll see ya.